Hello everyone, my name is Vernisa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
And this is our podcast, Speak Up. What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. Glad you made it to episode 37.
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I think we've lost count at this point.
Yeah, it just keeps adding up. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends, and we create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
Yes, self-love and respect are always going to be two things that are super important to us. So, of course, you're going to hear us say the same thing over and over again.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
So today, our title is Daily Dose of C.
Daily dose of C. That sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about?
For sure not vitamin C, even though you should be getting your daily dose of vitamin C.
Exactly. Yeah, this is something else that you should be getting a daily dose of, and it's called confidence. So that's where that C comes in. But yeah, we thought it was super important to talk about this today because no matter who you are, what you are, where you are, how old you are, we think it's super important to work on your confidence.
Yes, I completely agree. So, again, on our Google tip, confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's abilities or qualities.
Yeah, so all of that jarble, mumble-jumble basically means that having that assurance in yourself. I know that was used in the definition, but I feel like that's the best part of it. I mean, I think that's where knowing what you're capable of comes from, and whether that's a certain type of quality you have or, certain abilities, like we've talked about with talents before and everything. So we think it's super important to be able to be sure of that, and let yourself know you're a damn badass every single day.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like the biggest word to take out of that is self.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we're seeking that validation from others, and we let other people's opinions of us affect our confidence and stuff. And honestly, it honestly starts from within. And I think that's an important thing that we need to be reminded of, because I feel like in today's world it's easy to forget that because we're so looking for what other people think.
That's so true. Yeah. Honestly, whatever you're telling yourself every single day is going to become the way you carry yourself. And then the way you carry yourself is going to affect your confidence ultimately. So this is why it's important to start the work from within. I mean, I know we sound like broken record players saying this all the time, but it's true. Like, you need to be able to sit down with yourself and, admit what kind of talents you have. Like, write that down if you have to, because there's going to come days where you're not feeling your best self. No matter how much confidence you've been working on or you've developed or anything, there's going to be days where you're maybe doubting yourself, you're not as confident. So it's like, pull that journal out where you wrote down those qualities of yourself and let yourself know, you know what, I'm still this person. I can still be confident. Today was just a hard day for me.
Yeah, and even if it's just you looking at the mirror saying nice things to yourself over and over again, it can honestly start there. Confidence just shines, and I feel like, like you said, the way you carry yourself, it shows in your posture. Like, I feel like when you're like timid or shy or like you're not believing in yourself, you tend to just kind of be closed off. But people with like this confidence have this natural aura to them in anything that they do, and I think that's the part that shines through, and it's important to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to realize what we're teaching our younger generation, or even what we heard as children. Like, I know for me specifically, I wasn't brought up in an environment where I heard a lot of nice things, not even like just about myself, but just about the people around me in general. So I grew up a very timid person. I wasn't sure of my voice. I was always afraid to talk in school, in public in general. I just didn't have that confidence, and I didn't realize this until I got much older, where it was because of what I was hearing, that I didn't know, what I was capable of.
Yeah, and honestly, what I want to say about that, like, about when you're being younger, kids are mean. Like, I don't miss middle school days, high school, elementary days, like,
fuck all y'all.
I'm just kidding. But it's just like, when going to school and like dealing with kids teasing you or just that. And then like if you are brought up in a household where you're being put down, or your parents say certain things to your siblings, it's like, that stays with you, and I feel like that affects your confidence when you get to an older age. And honestly, that can be like problematic because it follows us subconsciously.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why there's like a lot of unfortunately, suicide rates, a lot of people who lack confidence, and then they bring that into like their parenting style, and then we're just creating cycles of not teaching our children how to be confident in themselves, how to have their own voice and everything, and it's just all stemming from what we know, and I think we need to start from the inside and really ask ourselves, like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I not trusting myself enough? Why don't I believe in myself? And if it's like maybe from childhood or something, like what can you do to change that? And I know for me, it's still a work in progress. Like every single day, it has to be something, right? That daily dose of seed that I have to put into myself. But it's not something that's going to come overnight.
Yeah. Also too, for the parents out there, yeah, Jen and I aren't parents, but obviously we have parents, so we know how like we can be, children can be affected by having a lack of confidence. Honestly, tell your children they're beautiful. Tell your children they're amazing. Compliment your children, because parents' opinions go a long way of their child, and like our parents or whoever raised us are the first ones we're exposed to. I'm the oldest of all of my siblings, and I just love. I have 2 little sisters and 2 little brothers, but especially with my sisters, I really tell them all the time, you guys are beautiful. I like to compliment them, make them feel good. Like one of my sisters, she's really tall for her age. Like I think she's 6 feet or like 5'11", and honestly, like when she was younger, she used to be like insecure about her height. Like she used to, be like, oh, everyone says I'm taller than you, I'm taller than all the boys, and I had to like remind her, like, one day you're gonna appreciate your height, you're gonna be feeling good. Now she over here walking around feeling good, like Megan Thee Stallion,
looking like a model.
And it's like, looking like a model, because in the day, society's gonna attack us regardless. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're not pretty enough. Like we have all this negative connotations thrown, especially at a young age. So we're constantly trying to fit into a box, and really when it's about embracing who you are. So I'm just glad that my that like my sister feels good about her height, and like it's beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with her height, but it's just society is big on pushing putting you down when you look different from everybody else. So I just want to take this time to say, like, if you're an older sibling, a parent, or just a friend, anybody, just make people around you feel good, because it goes a long way.
Put love into people. I think that's really important. When I say I didn't hear the best things, like, this has nothing to do with my mom. Like, my mom is like my biggest fan. I'm her biggest fan, because we just put this confidence into each other as not only daughter and mother, but as women in general. Like, we know what it's like to struggle with ourselves, not even just on a physical vein level. It's more so on the inside, like not knowing what you're gonna eat the next day, or what your future's gonna look like in 5 years or something. That can affect your confidence in a lot of ways, because it affects your ability as like, what kind of mother am I if I can't provide for my children? I remember having these talks with my mom, and it's like, it sucks knowing that somebody who I look up to was suffering with her confidence, and just being able to put that love back into her, like, now that I'm older, and letting her know, Mom, like, I know you've done the best that you can, and you're the most amazing person that I know. Like, I think it's helped her build herself back up. And I'm not saying I'm the reason she has all this confidence, but yeah, like, it helps. It goes a long way when you let people know that you care about them.
Yeah, like, it can be that boost so they can start to see within themselves, because honestly, you can have it all figured out. You could be the best parent, you could be the best looking person, whatever, and still not have confidence. And honestly, you can hear all those compliments all day, like people telling you're amazing and stuff, but then, like, I feel like once it is jump started on the inside, it's like, okay, and you fully embrace it, ain't no turning back. There's a line between confidence and insecurities, and I feel like once you're not fueling the confidence side, that's when the insecurity side takes over, and it overpowers the confidence part, and then it turns into the dark side, which is being insecure. And that's why it's important to have confidence, because you don't want to walk around being a person who's totally insecure. Don't get me wrong, we're human, we all have insecurities in different ways, but it's problematic when it completely takes over you.
Of course, yeah. When your insecurity starts to take over your life, and you're no longer doing something that you want to do, there's like this fire inside of you that wants to try it, but because you have that insecurity, you're not doing it. That's the scary part. Like Vernice said, we all have insecurities, whether they're physical, emotional, all the way internal insecurities, like, from birth or whatever. we need to work on these. Like, we can't let this stop us, because at the end of the day, like, life is just full of insecurities. I can have confidence now over something that I may have been insecure about in the past, but if I had never worked on it, I'd probably still be insecure about that, and then add more insecurities on top, because now I have other insecurities that I got to work on. And it's like, as life changes, so is your attitude about you, your attitude about the world and everything. So of course you're going to start to build up more like doubts and everything. So if you're not working on it, that's just going to start clouding your mind and then your abilities to do anything. And guess what? You're just going to be stagnant, not ever doing anything.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like insecurities will cause you to make up fake things in your mind. You know, like look at relationships. When one of the people in the relationship is insecure, what do? They make up scenarios and they act on it, you know, and then it causes you to strain relationships in your life. Insecurities allow you not to start something that you always wanted to start it, because you're like, no one's gonna like it, But when you have that confidence, you know, you're gonna have healthier relationships. You're gonna be more ambitious and actually go for what you want in life. So it's important to figure out what is causing you to not be confident and work on it so you can, you know, be the best version of yourself.
I mean, confidence doesn't mean you're not scared to do anything new. It just means you know it's going to be okay no matter what happens, what comes out of it. Whether that's a risk in a relationship or in a business or, you know, like a physical journey that you're going on, something. You know, you have that confidence that it's going to be okay. And I think that's why it's important for us to know not to base our confidence on who's applauding us, right? Like, what kind of attention are we getting or not getting? If you're only confident because people notice how cute you are, or because people notice how talented you are or something, like, it doesn't work, because then when that person or those people stop applauding you, or those moments where you're by yourself and no one's there to celebrate your glories, like, what, you're all of a sudden not going to be confident? I understand it's easier said than done, because yeah, the compliments help, they make us feel good, whatever, the attention helps too, but it has to come from within you. Be your own biggest fan, give yourself that attention, give yourself that compliment that nobody else gave you, applaud yourself on the back for everything that you do, because there's going to come those moments where nobody has your back but you.
Yeah, you got to be able to stand alone regardless of what happens. You know, a big one is social media. You know, like, I love Instagram, I love Facebook. You know, it's fun. I like to take pictures and upload photos. I love taking selfies. My nana called me the selfie queen. You know, I'm cool with that. You know, whatever.
It's all good.
I embrace it. But what I want to say
is the camera loves you.
It loves you too. It loves us together too. But what I want to say is, like, you know, it's all cool. It's cool and all. But when it gets to a point to where the amount of likes you get on a photo is the only reason why you feel confident about your looks, that's when it's time to just take a break from that, because that's when it's probably, because there's going to be days where you upload a photo and it's not going to get that much love. Or what, Instagram might take the likes away like they said they were. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you know, like the rumors that we heard about that, like what, you're not going to feel attractive anymore just because nobody is liking your picture and stuff. And I think that's just like a cry for help when it turns into that. You got to be able to, you know, pour into yourself to where if you were to post whatever you want and you just feel good about it because you know, okay, I feel good in this picture and I just want to post it. And it's what it is.
Do it for you. Since when did our validations come from all these likes? You know, I know we've done an episode on validation before, but it's like, it's true. Why are we depending on something or someone online to tell us that we're badasses or that we look good today? You know, we look better than we did a few years ago or whatever. Don't get me wrong. If you want to show your progress because, I don't know, you've gone on a fitness journey, you look good, you feel good and everything, post it by all means. I mean, I know I've done that for sure. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting those likes. It's just like Vernisa said, if this is all you depend on to get that confidence, that's when it's problematic. Like, what if one day Instagram just shut down, you know, or all the social media just shut down and we no longer have a place to upload our selfies or anything? Like, what are we going to do then? And I think it's important to know also that confidence isn't just about what's on the outside. Confidence is really on the inside. Like, knowing, you know, if the whole world was blind, like, my soul would still speak for itself. Like, I would still make somebody feel good. I would still let people know how much of a badass I am, you know, pour love into people. Like, you know, we've always talked about this, that we'd rather be remembered for how we make people feel. And I think that's where our biggest confidence comes from, because we know what we're capable of, what type of emotions we're trying to instill in people, what type of value and knowledge we're trying to give to the world, because this is ultimately going to be our legacy. And our confidence has to be able to carry that legacy. And if we're never working on it, we don't know what that looks like, then what kind of legacy are we really trying to leave behind?
And going off that impact part, like, you have to really know yourself, to know your gifts, to know what your purpose is. And then I feel like when you figure that out, you're going to have confidence in whatever you do. Relating it back to social media, you know, think about when you're about to announce you're starting a business, you're starting a show, you're starting this. That takes confidence.
Yeah.
To even do that in the first place. But, you know, you have to get past that fear and those insecurities of wondering, okay, what are people going to think if I finally announce I'm dropping my first album or whatever, my first single? What, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to get those voices out of your head that are talking you down, saying you're not worthy, saying you're not good enough, you know, because negative self-talk is our downfall when it comes to the line between insecurities, confidence, and the correlation with social media.
And I think even like trying to release a business, whether it's a show or a song or any type of talent you have or anything that you want to put out into the world, that is when you're going to need the most confidence, because at the beginning it's going to be really hard. You're going to find people who you thought believed in you don't actually believe in you. You're going to run into, you know, haters along the way, or one like, or, you know, one download or whatever. And it's going to be really hard. It's going to take a toll on your confidence. And that's where you're going to have to push yourself and be like, you know what? No, I know I can do this. I know what my purpose is, like you were saying. So if your confidence is just based on social media, on somebody else's opinions, you're never going to start anything, or you're going to start, but you're never going to stick it through.
Yeah, and I'm going to be real. Jen and I was nervous as hell when we were about to announce we were dropping the podcast.
We still are sometimes.
Yeah, we definitely still are. And what I want to say is, like, you know, despite, I mean, there was a time where we were like, we would post things and, like, it wasn't getting that many likes at the very beginning. But we had to have this confidence and faith and belief in ourselves that we have a message that we want to get out there. We're passionate about this, and we're confident in ourselves. And if we believe we are capable of achieving this, and now, honestly, that's one thing that keeps us going, you know, despite if that one haters or people are looking, don't want to like it, but they see it, you know, because I feel like when you don't have confidence, you start to take everything personal. Yeah. Because it's like you're so busy looking for everyone else's validation and their approval that you forget about yourself. And then when it turns into that, you look up, you have nothing to show for it because you were so wrapped up just looking for everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. But also, don't get us wrong. You know, we appreciate every single one of you guys who have shown us support and giving us positive feedback. Like, thank you for the confidence you've been putting into our show. Like, that means a lot to us. You know, but also the confidence we have in this is something that no one's going to take away from us. And I think this is something that everybody needs to carry for themselves, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you want to put your singing talents out there, photography talents, whatever. Like, it's important for you to know, you know what, I believe in myself enough to release this content, or to just know that I'm going to carry it through. I'm going to do it no matter what.
I agree. You know, honestly, too, confidence affects your work ethic. You know, for you to even want to, say if it's even a job, you want to apply for, you want to go to school, whatever you want to do, if you don't have that confidence to apply to that college, if you don't have that confidence to, you know, believe in yourself to do your best in the, you know, to get the good grade, you're not going to do it.
Absolutely not.
You're not going to do anything that you want. You have to believe that you can attain it. You have to believe that it's capable. You're capable of getting it, you know. So all that starts with confidence, which starts with you doing the inner work.
Yeah, that's true. We need to strive to improve. We need to watch our ambition. If you have none, or you feel like you've been faltering, take this as a message, as a sign. Like, keep going. It's worth it. Whatever makes you happy, in a healthy way, and you feel like you're good, you're adding value to yourself and to the world, do it. Like, there's nothing wrong with having tried and then you fail. I think some of the most successful, confident people are the ones who have hit rock bottom multiple times, and even in the future continue to hit rock bottom at times. But it's like, you keep going. You know, like us, we keep going with this. Even in other areas of our lives, like, we keep going. And the thing is, we've been working on this confidence for a really long time, and we continue to work on it every single day. Like, your confidence is going to show also in your relationships, like, no matter who you're dealing with, whether it's a family relationship, obviously a partner, romantic relationship, even friendships. Like, you have to have enough confidence in yourself as a person in order to even have healthy relationships in general.
Yeah, like, it's simply the confidence to just be yourself and not feel like you have to search for a different identity to fit in. Like, that takes confidence just to embrace who you are and just walk around with it. Even if you really have to sit with yourself and think about mean things people have said to you in the past, times people have broke you down, times you were in a low point, if it takes that for you to get to the root of why you're not feeling confident, do what you have to do, because in the day there is something that is holding you down and keeping you in that bubble, but you're never going to come out of that until you realize what it is.
That's true. You ever heard that saying that says, be yourself because everybody else is already taken? And I think this is the most important thing in order for you to start establishing an identity. Like, no one else is going to have what you have, what you bring to the table. Like Bernice said, if you have to sit down and think about the negative stuff, do it. So that way you can start figuring out what's happening. If you feel like it's too much to handle in one day, okay, do as much as you can in a day. I know sometimes when we think about things that have happened in our past or that have been said to us, we may get triggered. I mean, I think that's normal. When I started on this self-confidence journey, like, there's a lot of things that started triggering me. I had bad memories of, like, I had an aunt who used to hit me across the face with a towel. I know I've mentioned this before, but, like, I think that's one of the youngest memories I have of just where my self-confidence issues came from. And I know if I didn't think about it, I would never have worked on it. And the thing is, it sucks. It still sucks thinking about it. I can't believe a family member of mine, would even say that to me, to a little girl at that. But it's like, it's the truth, and I just needed to work on it. I needed to find a way to get myself out of that situation, fight for that little girl that no one else fought for.
And honestly, you guys, confidence can fluctuate. Some days you may feel like the badass of the day. Yeah. Some days you wake up, you're like, what the hell? But, it's about staying steady and just trying to just give yourself that daily dose of it as much as you can. That's what we're trying to say. Like, make it to where you avoid falling rock bottom, hitting rock bottom.
Yeah, let's be real. We always are going to have haters, right? So might as well be confident in you, because then it won't matter what the haters say. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, because you're your own person and you realize you're fighting for you, your relationship is for you, and ultimately that confidence is for you.
Yeah, honestly, haters are always going to have something to say, whether you're confident or not. You could be insecure, they going to talk shit. You can be confident, they going to talk shit. Might as well just be confident and let them talk shit, because in the day, they have a problem within themselves, a void that they're trying to fill. So, honestly, too, when you have a bright light and you're ascending, people want to pull you down. And I just want to let you know, the more confidence you have, actually, the more haters you're going to have. So, that's something to be prepared for, because don't let the haters make you feel like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be feeling like this. Because sometimes, that's the hater's goal, right? To affect you by any means necessary. Some people just hate on you just because you being you. Like, you're not even studying yet.
Or they wish they could be like you.
Oh, yeah. Or some people are just mad at the way people treat you. Just your persona. And, like, in the day, just let the haters be. Like, that's their job. Let them do what they do. You just be this badass, confident person and keep it pushing. I believe that's say it like that.
And I think it's important, like we were saying, to put love into people. So we may know people who are also struggling with their confidence, and I think it's important to start helping them as well. Of course, you can't help anybody until you've helped yourself. It's like putting on that oxygen mask, do that first for you, and then try to help others. But we need to start somewhere, right?
No, most definitely. I'm one of those weird people, like, I have to teach something to learn it better. Use that confidence as that. When, like, when you start teaching people how to love themselves better, you'll start loving yourself better too. It's just, it comes around full circle. And then I'm gonna be real, you'll feel better about yourself when you are giving love to people, because you feel like, you know, in the day we all want to inspire, we all want to give, you know, like I feel like when you can make somebody feel good or make somebody day, like that can't be bought, you know. That's more than giving somebody money or whatever. Like it's something about like changing a person's perception of themselves and like making them feel good.
Let somebody know how important they are to you. I think that's always a good way to start. Like, you know, they don't have to be blood related for you to tell them how much you love them. Like, I think that's one of the most underrated things that we don't practice in this society, is telling each other how much we love each other, how much we appreciate each other's presence, like how much we notice the things we do for each other. And I think if we spread more of that, we would have a lot more confident people. I feel more confident like when I tell people compliments, you know, or I notice that someone has a really cute outfit on that day or something, even if they're a complete stranger. Like like, you know, you said making someone's day. Like you never know what kind of words, what kind of impact your words are going to have, because maybe that person had the last straw, you know, that was the worst day they've had, and one little compliment you gave them or just made their day, you know. And like if we're just so, I don't want to talk to anybody, or why would I do that for them or whatever, like we're all just going to end up isolated, angry, unconfident people.
That is so true. Like I can't tell you how many times I was having a rough day and a random stranger gave me a compliment, and sometimes I got so happy I almost wanted to cry, because it was like, it was just refreshing to hear those words. Or like you wake up to a nice text from a loved one. She was sometimes be my best friend, you know. We'll just show appreciation text, just because like, you know, one thing about Jen, she's very unpredictable, so she'll just do random little things that are like, you know, and it's just like, you know, it makes your day. And I want to say too, like when you can be real with people and tell them how you feel about them, that's an act of confidence, because it takes a lot to really, you know, pour your heart out to a person, or just to tell them like how you feel about them, you know. I think people that can do that are brave, honestly, you know, because, you know, the more we spend time just holding everything in and holding grudges and stuff like that, that's, in my eyes, that's an act of insecurity in a way. When, you know, you're embracing who you are, when you can be blunt, or you can just, you know, make somebody feel special.
That's true. That's why confidence starts from within. Like there's no other force externally that's gonna be able to give you that other than what's inside. You know, I'm sure you guys have heard that everything we ever need is already inside of ourselves, and that is so true for confidence. Like I never understood that until I actually started doing the work and realizing how kindness towards yourself really makes an impact. Like really forgiving yourself, really fighting for yourself, really just rooting yourself on even when nobody else is. Like that is all internal. Like if there's a voice inside of you that says I'm meant to be doing this, or I know I want better, or I know there's more to this, go fight for it. Like it's worth the risk, honestly, and especially if it's for you. You know, we always talk about how your relationship with yourself is the longest one you're gonna have, and you know, it's the most important one you're gonna have, because it's gonna set the tone for every other relationship. And if you don't have confidence in yourself, you're gonna start bleeding on other people, and I just think that's gonna affect the rest of your life, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, like Jim was saying about it starting from within, it's gonna shine through. So fellas, you know, us ladies love us some confident men. So please bring that to the table, because we could read when you're not confident, just like men could read when women aren't confident either. You know, it's beautiful, makes you more approachable and stuff. Like when you're just standing your ground, like just say you're fighting for yourself, you're making it known what you want, you know, you have that good posture, you know, it's something sexy about that. So let's be sexy and confident, you know.
Exactly.
And honestly, you guys, all of this relates to self-love, because you're allowing yourself to not only embrace who you are and to own who you are, but to allow yourself to show the best version of yourself to others.
I think practicing confidence for me has been my best act of self-love, because I'm fighting, like I said, for that 5-year-old Jen that no one fought for, who was getting smacked across the face. You know, I'm learning how valuable I am, not just to others, but to me, most importantly. Like, why do I matter? You know, why am I brought here? And I feel like the more I work on my self-confidence, the more I'm realizing what my purpose is here, and then what I want to show to other people, like why I want to empower other people. And, you know, let others know that it's okay to be confident. You know, yes, confidence, not arrogance. Of course, there's a difference, but let yourself know you're a damn badass today. Like, even if you don't believe it, you know, sometimes when I'm not feeling my best self, I like to put on some lipstick and just put on a cute shirt, even if I'm just going to be in the house, and be like, okay, you know, I'm good today, because maybe my confidence isn't just about my physical appearance, but it makes me feel a little bit better to be dressed up. Okay, I'm gonna dress up today. That's one less thing to worry about. Now let me work on some internal shit.
That is so true. And to get a little deeper, you know, confidence is a form of resilience, because it's like, despite all the shit you've been through, the times you've been knocked down, told you weren't gonna be able to accomplish anything, you know, told you wasn't shit, and you could still walk around with a smile on your face and, you know, embracing who you are and believing in yourself. Nobody can take that from you. So I just think that's something to take in mind as a message, you know, with this episode, you know, me and Jen are delivering.
Confidence or lack of is always going to dictate the rest of your life. And I think that's something that really needs to sink into a lot of people, because some of us are more timid than others, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think we need to really have that inner confidence. Like, confidence speaks for you. You know, it lets people know like what type of energy you're carrying in the room, and then ultimately what type of energy you're going to be carrying in your relationships. So if you're not a confident person, then of course you're going to have like low quality relationships, and maybe it's time to reevaluate like where all that's coming from.
Yeah, and I think too, you know, ways to improve the self-confidence, being confident about your flaws also, like, you know, what you come with. Like me, for example, like, you know, some of you that know me closely, like, you know, I deal with anxiety, you know, but, you know, when I came to, you know, what's what I want to say, when I came to like accepting that about me and, you know, just dealing with it and knowing who I am, it doesn't, I'm not like insecure about it anymore. I don't feel like, oh, you know, if I get to know this person, they're gonna, you know, walk away because like, you know, I'm having anxiety. Like, now I'm at the point, okay, this is me. I know what triggers it, you know what I mean? And I can move forward and deal with it when that time comes. And like, if somebody doesn't want to be my friend or be in my circle because I overthink, I worry, okay, that's on them. That's their loss. I know who I am and what I can offer as a person. And I don't need to surround myself by people who use that as a weapon against me.
Exactly. Yeah. When you work on your self-confidence, also you start to know what kind of people should be in your circle. After all, like if there's a person who has a problem with your flaws, whatever you come with, they're not meant to be in your circle. Like, why would you want that type of person? Somebody who's so worried about everybody else except for themselves. Everybody else is the problem except for themselves. Clearly, that's not a confident person, because anybody who's confident, is going to own up to their shit. They're going to know, you know what? Yeah, I'm flawed, but this is who I am. Working on myself every single day.
Taking
of course,
accountability.
You know, taking accountability. But this is what makes me who I am. This is my story, and nobody's going to take that away from me. And I think it's important to have other people like that in your circle.
Yeah, so, you know, the ways you recommend: improving your circle, owning your flaws, positive self-talk, you know, and facing yourself and facing the mean things that were said to you in the past.
Yeah, because I know everybody has a story, you know, and if we can just start peeling off those negative layers one by one, we'll realize how amazing, truly talented, beautiful individuals we all are, because I know we are all capable of bringing out the best versions of ourselves. It just has to start from within. Get your daily dose of C, right?
Right, she took my word. Daily dose, okay, every day, y'all. Do not miss a day, even on your bad days.
That's right.
We hope y'all enjoyed this episode and found value in this episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also check us out on Podbean at speakupjv.podbean.com. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, email us at speakupjv@gmail.com. All these things. We're also on Spotify, Apple, apparently iHeartRadio. And just make sure y'all tap in and spread the word. Like, comment, and share on this video if you are watching us visually. We appreciate all of you guys.
Thank you guys. Remember to fight for your confidence every single day.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.